Hello, my name's Shaun. I work at Southern Cemetery for the past 15 years. I'm mainly a gravedigger, but I'm also the works arborist, and I also do garden as well when I'm needed. So in the morning when I get to work at 7:15, I get my machine out, fueled up, ready to dig. Then I get a digger's note which tells me what graves I need to dig, the size of the grave, and how many people are in the grave. And then we go to the plot, we find the grave, and we put the timbers out, which we'll show you in a minute. And we basically just dig down to the box, shoring the grave up as we go down. And then we cover the grave up. Then on the day of the funeral, we set the grave up ready for the funeral. We also, I think, one of the few cemeteries that actually help the funeral directors at the graveside as well.
Okay.
We help lower. We put the coffin onto the sticks at the graveside, and we find it's nice to be interacting with the funeral director. It makes it a bit more intimate, and we feel it gives a better impression of the cemetery, and shows more empathy, I think, as well. You're not just doing one job which makes it really interesting. Also, you're outside all the time, which is great. And if you like getting wet, cold, miserable, it's a wonderful job to have, especially in this year with the weather. Work-wise, it makes the job harder. The rain, it makes the graves a bit more dangerous to dig and to stay up. More rain you get, the more chance of them collapsing. And also, normally you're feeling a bit miserable because you're soaking wet through. But it just gets cold and damp. But once you get used, after a few years, you get used to that. But the weather, hot weather, it's hard work. It makes hard work, really sweaty, and especially because not all the graves are dug by machine. A lot of them are dug by hand as well. Sometimes it's quicker to dig a grave by hand than it is to get a machine into the middle of the plot like in here. Well, that's one of the interesting things actually, because all the funerals are slightly different as well. Also, we dig for Muslim, Chinese, Greek, White Russians, and Jewish as well. It depends how you look at it. We've done a soldier, and afterwards we found out what he'd been involved in, and when you hear the story, sometimes it's the stories that we find out about the person that we're burying. That's really interesting.